These are the two best Pokemon players in the world at this time.
All right, and let's take a closer look at our competitors, starting with Jonathan. So we saw Jonathan a little bit on stream yesterday. Of course, he has been over there in the United Kingdom, top cutting UK Nationals, and of course top 8 at the London Regionals. So getting some experience over there across the pond, bringing it back here to San Francisco. He is running that dual primal team, Groudon and Kyogre, with some very interesting techs alongside of it. The Talonflame and Bronzong we've seen quite a lot of. Wolfe looking for redemption after coming so close back in 2012. Runner-up at Worlds, 5-time Regionals champion, 2-time National champion, multiple-time Worlds competitor as well. His team is going to be the Rayquaza Kyogre core alongside the Gengar, Raichu, Bronzong, and Hitmontop. All right, the crowd is on both of these players' side. Wolfe will go ahead and lead both restricted Pokemon, the Kyogre and the Rayquaza on his side, while Jonathan will go ahead and lead his own Kyogre and the Gengar here. So Gengar Kyogre lead, not something that we see very often, alongside the Rayquaza Kyogre lead, which is definitely something I don't think I've ever seen both of those Pokemon out as a lead.
Yeah, it's this, pretty unique lead in the sense that normally you lead with Kyogre and then you keep Rayquaza in the back to allow you for the potential switch-ins here. With Rayquaza out, the water type attacks will do less damage because Airlock is activated. However, it also means that if Jonathan wants to switch out into Groudon, it could just potentially be knocked out by a water type attack from Wolfe's side. So you've got to be worried a little bit about that. Given that we see the Gengar here, it's most likely that Manectric isn't going to make an appearance, unfortunately. Yeah, you got to remember that Gengar here could just, be hit by a huge Water Spout or Origin Pulse, but Rayquaza here actually going to swap out.
Yeah, so Wolfe doing what Wolfe does best and switching his Pokemon around. Rayquaza swapped out for Raichu. Jonathan going to go ahead and Mega Evolve Gengar, so keeping both of his Pokemon in this first turn. Mega Gengar now trapping the Raichu and Kyogre, going for the Sludge Bomb onto Kyogre, actually. So doing a good amount of damage back to it, weakening this Water Spout a little bit. Not going to deal enough to Kyogre. Gengar actually will survive because of that. And Thunder comes out from Kyogre, but the Raichu switch in. Raichu will take that Thunder for Wolfe and actually boost its special attack.
You could switch in Groudon here. Kyogre could go into Groudon. Gengar does have the trap up, and that's actually really, really helpful. We do see Groudon come in here.
Yeah, it is going to be the Groudon trap, so Groudon will switch in for Kyogre, will set up the Desolate Land and block any water-type attacks. Gengar now alongside Groudon may go for an attack here, may try to protect itself to ensure that Wolfe's Pokemon are both trapped here with the Groudon for at least one turn here. Although Raichu can always Volt Switch out, so Gengar will go for the Protect. So no damage being taken by Gengar right now. Raichu goes for the Fake Out, will connect with the Groudon, but just dealing a little bit of chip damage there, not much else. Kyogre's Ice Beam into the Protect. So at least for one turn, Raichu and Kyogre are trapped in here with Groudon.
Great to see here. It's swapping out. Here's Gengar going out.
Gengar is going to switch out, and it will be Bronzong. No Manectric here, so Bronzong will be the switch for Jonathan. Wants to protect the Gengar, actually going to switch both Pokemon out. So the Sunlight will fade, and Kyogre will come out for Jonathan in place of Groudon. So having put himself in that position, just wants to switch all of his Pokemon back out, giving Wolfe a free turn here. Wolfe opts to use Protect on Kyogre for that free turn, while Raichu is going to use Endeavor and will connect with the Kyogre on the switch-in, but not dealing that much damage because Raichu, still at full health, did not take a Precipice Blades as it may have expected. If Jonathan will be able to make use of potentially a Trick Room on that Bronzong, Raichu does Volt Switch this time, deals actually a lot of damage. It did get that boost from the Thunder earlier, so dealing more damage than Jonathan may have expected. Raichu going to switch out. Wolfe has two Pokemon he could pick instead of this Raichu to take whatever Jonathan's Kyogre will be dishing out. It will be the Hitmontop in the back, so Wolfe very much favoring the Hitmontop and the Raichu, able to cycle Intimidates and Fake Outs. Water Spout does come out from Wolfe's Kyogre first, so Wolfe's Kyogre is faster. Not able to pick up the KO onto Bronzong, though. Bronzong hangs on with 8 HP. Origin Pulse connects, so it will hit Wolfe's Pokemon. Is it going to be enough to pick up the KO on Hitmontop? Not enough. Hitmontop hangs on with red health and bounces back with the eject button, while Kyogre taking a little bit of extra damage as well. So Wolfe getting another chance to switch in a new Pokemon. Usually we see this be the Raichu, so he can keep cycling those Fake Outs.
But it's Faint from Hitmontop and Extreme Speed from Gengar. Right, so neither of those, Extreme Speed from Rayquaza, excuse me. So neither of those can actually hit the Gengar because, of course, Gengar is Ghost type. We do see Trick Room go up.
Trick Room is set up, and Rayquaza is the switch in for Wolfe. So Bronzong twisting the dimensions now. Jonathan's Kyogre will be the fastest.
At least give himself an advantage.
All right, well, Wolfe will retreat his Kyogre, so Kyogre's not going to deal any damage here. Raichu will be the play. So Raichu back on the field. Rayquaza with a Protect here. So just trying to get some switches around, get the Fake Out to stall out this Trick Room. Kyogre does go for Thunder again. So Raichu will pick that up once more. Another special attack boost on the switch into Thunder. Yeah. Casting one of Wolfe's matches just to see how close we are to the end of time. All players still have all Pokemon right now, but that could change, and if that does, Timer could become a very real win condition. Groudon will switch in for the Bronzong, wants to keep that healthy. Jonathan will protect his own Kyogre here, trying to keep that Pokemon healthy as well. Raichu goes for the Fake Out into the Protect, and Swords Dance comes out from Rayquaza there. Wolfe deciding to turn on the offense right now.
Yeah, I like the Swords Dance play a lot here because Rayquaza still is at full HP.
Although, of course, there is the Extreme Speed, so no Protects. Extreme Speed will connect with Kyogre.
Does it survive?
Enough.
No!
Kyogre will go down. Rayquaza picks up the KO onto that Kyogre with the Extreme Speed. Precipice Blades from Groudon will connect with Raichu. Wolfe seemed to think it would not be enough for the KO before, but it is enough for a one-hit KO. Jonathan picks up the KO, so both players trading KOs on their other Pokemon. Rayquaza, though, still has its Focus Sash, still has the Swords Dance boost, and that was a Raichu for a Kyogre trade.
Rayquaza.
Yeah, and the Groudon may be healthy, but Jonathan's other Pokemon definitely are not. Wolfe will bring in the Hitmontop, which is also not very healthy right now. But we'll get the Intimidate crucially off onto that Groudon. And
going to be the slowest Pokemon. We see a switch out here, though.
Yeah, Gengar actually going to switch out, so Bronzong will come out for Jonathan instead, trying to just cycle Pokemon around. Wolfe will go ahead and finally Mega Evolve his Rayquaza. That wasn't even a Mega Evolved Extreme Speed that knocked out the Kyogre there.
Right.
That's pretty impressive. Rayquaza now in its Mega Evolution will be much more powerful and already has that Swords Dance. Fake Out does connect on Groudon, so Groudon is going to flinch. Dragon Ascent from Rayquaza is going to connect. Is it going to be on that Groudon or on that Bronzong on the switch in? Looks like it will be on the Bronzong. So Groudon will stick around, but Bronzong goes down, and I believe that should be the end of Trick Room here with Gengar coming back out on the field.
Yeah, oh, this is so close, but I think with Timer running low, you know, Wolfe definitely sees opening here in terms of the advantage because it's close. I feel like, you know, Wolfe still is in a really good position because he's got that Kyogre in the back.
Can happen here. Groudon protects, though, so Jonathan's not going to go on the offensive at all. Groudon protecting itself. Hitmontop with the wide guard. So wide guard on Hitmontop. Good thing that Groudon protected because it wasn't going to be able to do much of anything else. Will-O-Wisp connecting to Rayquaza. Would have liked to have that much earlier on, but I just don't. Dragon Ascent will connect with the Gengar. Wolfe picks up the Dragon Ascent onto Gengar, and I don't think there is any way that Jonathan can pull this one off with only 1 minute, 10 seconds left on the timer.
Oh, that was actually an incredible game there. I mean, yeah, timer is running low, but Kyogre in the back and Hitmontop and Rayquaza. Wolfe will be able to take this first game, but really well played there, and I like the gamble that Jonathan was at least trying to go for, right?
Jonathan just can't ignore that Rayquaza moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see Kyogre come back in here, and Hitmontop probably is just going to go for the wide guard there to make sure Groudon can't hit both Pokemon at once, since at this point the game will be over at this turn.
Yep, here comes the wide guard from Hitmontop, and even if Groudon were able to knock out one of these Pokemon, not enough because time has ended, and Wolfe Glick will take Game 1 over Jonathan Evans, and Wolfe is only one short game away from becoming the new World Champion.
So we are going to get into this second game. Wolfe Glick is one game away from becoming your World Champion. Jonathan Evans needs to win the next two in order to get that title.
All right, and we are going to see the exact same leads as before. Wolfe with Rayquaza and Kyogre up against Jonathan's Gengar and Kyogre. And really interesting that they both kept these leads. I mean, like I mentioned, I think both players felt comfortable with how they played, but this lead matchup still felt weird.
Yeah, it did, and there's so much going on already because we saw the Thunder come out from Jonathan's Kyogre in the beginning, right? And so Thunder is a big deal because it does so much damage to that Kyogre. So For some mind gamers right now, do you expect Wolfe to once again switch into the Raichu? And if so, which slot, right? You'd imagine if Rayquaza actually switch out into Raichu, then the Thunder just gets redirected. Let's see if Wolfe switches out. He does go for the switch out.
Yeah, Wolfe is going to switch out the Rayquaza once again, and it will be the Raichu for the second game in a row. Did Jonathan fall for the same trap here? His Pokemon are sticking around, so Gengar and Kyogre still on the field for Jonathan. Mega Evolution Sludge Bomb will connect with the Kyogre. So far, it is a repeat from Game 1, but
there is a poison. That could be a big deal in this matchup.
Yeah, that small little bit of extra chip damage. Origin Pulse from Wolfe, not going for the Water Spout now that he knows that he might get attacked here. Does pick up the KO onto Gengar. So Gengar will go down to the Origin Pulse. Origin Pulse coming back out from Jonathan's own Kyogre will deal a good amount of damage to the Raichu, but I'm pretty sure we've seen it survive that. Yep. Seen that survive that before. Kyogre taking the chip damage from the poison as well, though.
Yeah, very heavy trade-off there in terms of damage. This time Mega Gengar does go down.
Get Endeavored plus Origin Pulse.
And here's the Groudon. This is really, really scary because Raichu has the ability to Endeavor either Pokemon. Now, the one good thing at least is that if you Endeavor the Kyogre, I don't think Wolfe's Kyogre will be able to do too much to Jonathan's Kyogre because the sun will be up. So there's the Endeavor play possible, but of course Wolfe's shown that he loves switching out. He's been switching out so often in this game. Wouldn't be surprised to see Raichu switch out into maybe a Hitmontop or the Rayquaza.
All right, well, Kyogre is going to switch out, so Kyogre will switch out. Raichu not going to be able to deal much, get any KOs here, maybe able to Endeavor something down. Hitmontop will intimidate the Groudon and the Kyogre. More importantly, getting the Intimidate off onto that Groudon, but Jonathan's going to switch his Groudon out as well. Is this Raichu going to go for an Endeavor, a Fake Out? Is it just going to go for a Volt Switch? Bronzong out, Endeavor from Raichu, targets the Kyogre. Kyogre takes a lot of damage, but the Origin Pulse will connect. No more Sun will mean that the Origin Pulse will pick up a KO onto Raichu and about 50% health onto that Hitmontop.
Yeah, and at first I was like, oh man, it targeted on the Kyogre. That's such a good target down. But the fact now is that Bronzong is still at full HP. And Bronzong, of course, does have the Gyro Ball damage against the Rayquaza. But
all right, well, Wolfe will send out the Rayquaza and does have one other Pokemon to send out now. Of course, Rayquaza taking over for the Hitmontop that got ejected. So could still bring back the Hitmontop here to take out the fainted Raichu and threaten that Fake Out pressure onto the Bronzong.
Groudon and Bronzong can't really hit Rayquaza for too hard.
All right, well, Kyogre is going to be the switch in for Wolfe. Just wants to have all of that offensive pressure just in case just in case he needs to be able to knock out that Bronzong here before it can set up a Trick Room.
It's the reason why, there's just always the pressure constantly around it.
Well, Wolfe is going to retreat the Kyogre for the Hitmontop. Gets the Intimidate off onto Bronzong and Kyogre, and will have Fake Out pressure for the next turn. Intimidate onto both those Pokemon. Rayquaza just going for the offense. A Dragon Ascent, no protects coming out from Jonathan's Pokemon onto the Kyogre, so will be able to knock out Kyogre with that Dragon Ascent. Drop some of its defenses as well, and Kyogre will go down. Bronzong likely going for a Trick Room here. I think if there's no Trick Room, there's no way for Jonathan to bring this back. Does go for the Trick Room, and now Bronzong versus Groudon are going to have to be able to beat Hitmontop, Rayquaza, and Kyogre.
So Groudon is going to come back in. Bronzong and Groudon, two really good Pokemon to have in the late game of any match here. But the issue here is that Jonathan, of course, cannot kind of bring Groudon back in. And now, of course, there is the skill swap potential as well.
Else he will go home as only the runner-up, and Wolfe will be your new world champion. Rayquaza does
this
Mega
could be the
Evolve
turn.
It gets the damage off. It may be what makes Wolfe the world champion. Rayquaza's Delta Stream now out on the field. Groudon protects.
Oh, Wolfe.
Oh, what did Wolfe do? Did Wolfe attack that Groudon? Hitmontop goes for the Fake Out onto the Bronzong. So Bronzong's not going to be able to move. Groudon's not going to take any damage here, but nothing else.
Oh, he calls it!
Oh, he went for the Swords Dance. Can't play passive against Wolfe, or he will just set up in your face. Hitmontop will switch out for Kyogre. Kyogre going to make sure that no Fire-type abilities can be used, so that protects Rayquaza entirely from the Groudon.
Oh, here we go.
Primordial on the field. Gyro Ball from Bronzong connects with the Rayquaza. Will be dealing damage, but not enough. Precipice Blades doesn't hit the Rayquaza.
Oh,
Kyogre avoids the Precipice Blades! Dragon Ascent from Rayquaza. After its friend Kyogre avoids the Precipice Blades, the Dragon Ascent coming out from the galaxy.
Does it knock it out? Oh, no!
Groudon sticks around with 13 hit points, surviving that cosmic assault. Rayquaza taking a little bit more of its defenses drop. Kyogre taking a little bit more damage from the poison.
Oh, here's the Kyogre switch out. That's going to be able to get in another Intimidate off.
Intimidate. That Gyro Ball's not going to be dealing enough damage from Bronzong without a critical hit. And Groudon here has to protect itself if Jonathan's going to have any hope of taking this back. Groudon goes for the protect. Rayquaza will go for an attack here. Extreme speed into the protect. Here comes the Gyro Ball from Bronzong. Needs this crit. Connects with the Rayquaza. Deals a lot of damage. Not enough.
No, that's not
one
enough.
More.
Jonathan being so close. Here's the protect. Oh, he
went for the
fails.
double protects. Not enough. Hitmontop just goes for the fake out onto Bronzong. And with that double protect fail, Extreme Speed will connect, pick up the Groudon, and Bronzong is not going to be enough against this Hitmontop and not going to be enough against this Mega Rayquaza. Bronzong flinches, can't do anything, and Trick Room ends. Additionally, 3 Pokemon left for Wolf, only the Bronzong left for Jonathan.
Wolfe Glick must be able to taste that World Championship.
It is so, he is a minute and 37 seconds away.
Yeah, and it may end even before that. All he's got to do is just attack with all of his Pokemon right now. Bronzong has no way to protect itself. Dragon Sand coming from that +2 Rayquaza, going to target down that Bronzong. Bronzong cannot knock out enough Pokemon right now. This was actually one of the
pretty well.
This was one of the best Master Division finals I've ever seen.
And Hitmontop with the close combat onto Bronzong, also not enough. Jonathan just hanging in there by a sliver of health. Bronzong's Gyro Ball will finally be able to pick up the knockout onto the Mega Rayquaza, but with Hitmontop and Kyogre and no Trick Room, that is going to be it for Jonathan.
It is, but, you know, it was a 0-2.
But these are close.
But this easily could have been a 2-0. I am so impressed by Jonathan's level of play here. Seems like there was just maybe one prediction like he wasn't able to get. It wasn't even maybe slightly, like misplay isn't a good way to call it. It's more of just a prediction that Wolfie was able to nail. This game was won by Wolf. And here's the water spout. Wolfe Glick is your 2016 Pokemon video game world champion in the Masters Division.
Finally, Wolfe Glick gets to lift the first place trophy, not the runner-up, and his fans are going wild in the crowd.
Just look at him.
Drink it in.
So happy.
Just drink it in.